All right, yeah, the first slide looks slightly like, well, probably I should put a bit more effort into it, but still. Yeah, this is like the closing talk, and that's the last talk. That's definitely going to be not technical, but more like gratitude-based, so to say. I was asked to, like, the first thing before I actually going to start, I want to ask anybody in the room who actually want to tell us something now, like an open feedback to what we just did for last 2 years. Please just raise the hand, and if anybody want to say something, we'll encourage you to like give an honest opinion of what you've seen during the last few days. Of course, they're going to be after a feedback form to send to everybody who signed to our mail list, but does anybody want to say something? Yeah, sure. Do we have a microphone? Which one? Which LinkedIn page? Oh. Oh, well. Yes. It's actually possible. All right. If not, yes, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Does this work?
Yes.
Okay, great. Listen, I just want to say thank you for one thing. This does not get enough credit, but like the name tags, you know, they're plastic, so they don't rip off. And I really appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. We've been through some struggles over the last 2 years with badges, and I think, Hilo, this is all credits to you, right? You're handling with badges the most.
Just a comment.
Yeah.
This is it's on GitHub. It's using Inkscape, so it's all using open source tools. Free software is perinated. If you want to reuse for your conference, it's just there. Just fork the repo. Was part of the Lightning Talks last year. I presented how I made this, and with help of everybody else. So. Yes. some. Sorry, Mr. T. Next year.
Yeah.
So I just want to say what I think a lot of people feel here. This has been a very well organized conference, and great thanks to all the volunteers that has been working hard to make this possible for us to just pay and go here and don't make much work. This is my second time I go here, and last year was really good, and first thing I did was like, okay, I will go next year. And I have the same feeling after this one. I will come here next year. Keep up the good work.
Great. All right. One more. Yes.
Hi. Thank you. It was a wonderful conference. I've been the last year, and I've been the volunteer. And I started it right before I started working, and I was very happy to have my first tech job, saying that I'm actually working as a techie now. Yeah, so thank you for everything. What I wanted to say is when you go out from this conference, we had a really nice workshops when we were coding all together. And we do this a lot. We in PyLadies, we do this in Pink programming when we actually sit and code together like at this conference. And there were a lot of men who came to me and said, but we don't do that at our workshops, at other meetings. Why don't you let us in too, in PyLadies and Pink programming to code together? And I was like, but that's not the point. Just the point is code together. Just do the workshops where you actually code all together, when you share the knowledge, just like we did at this conference. And yeah, that's my point. Just when you go out there, just do things together, code together, and share the knowledge. Yeah, that's all.
All right.
I just want to make a comment on that. If you are still here who asked that question, we actually sat down and compiled CPython and failed miserably with tests in multiple places and learned a lot of things together. Sit down and write code together. It's not like we don't. So the different groups do. You have to come out of your house and to the event. So it's important.
All right. I might continue, right? No? Oh, sure.
I just wanted to share, first of all, well-organized conference, great fun, great content in all the talks. I was really impressed. So, but I did want to mention, follow up the last speaker, one of the things we did in San Diego's user group, and San Diego's PyLadies and San Diego meetup kind of works together quite a bit, is we actually wrote workshops together and like the content. So we had like a repo, maybe like this was one of the, and just an example, years ago, test-driven development was relatively new. And so we put together, you know, and the curriculum, and then we had, much like Django Girls, you know, people come and do the curriculum. And what we found was, you know, doing that, intro to Python, whatever, it really strengthened the San Diego community. And we're a smaller community. We're not like the Bay Area or New York where we have thousands of people coming to every meetup. But I think the other thing we did is we had like a study group where it was totally optional. People just showed up for like a couple hours on a weekend and just coded on their own projects. And that was super fun because you learned a lot from each other. So with that, keep being awesome.
All right.
Anyone else? Feel free to. All doesn't have to be great. It's like if you think something is wrong, we can fix it. We can try to fix it, or somehow we'll fix it.
Or you can join us to fix it together.
Yeah. So every kind of feedback is perfect.
Well, I came to Sweden just for PyCon, and it's one of the best ways to meet and to know a new country is coming for PyCons. So if you want to meet a country, go to a PyCon. It is absolutely worth. And in a detail, I'm from Brazil. In November in Brazil, the sun is high, temperatures are high, and there's sun every day. But it is still worth. It is still worth. A feedback that I give it, I hope that PyCon grows up year after year, and I hope that it should be possible someday in some year that PyCon has sprints. For example, in Brazil, we have we don't call PyCon Brazil, call it Python Brazil, and the last day of Python Brazil, I believe, it's just sprints. So it's a thing you should consider as PyCon grows, and long live PyCon Sweden.
Just to give you the context, we were considering to be having a sprint this time, but we were not sure. But since now you said and everyone clapped, so I think everyone is unanimous that we should have a sprint. Next time we'll try to have a sprint.
We were considering both sprints and posters. So if you want to see that next year, say it to the feedback form.
Yeah.
It will help us convince everybody in the board to do that.
What is a sprint in this context?
Sprint means where you sit down with generally the couple of the core developers or maintainers of the projects, and you work on those projects. And you can be one of those maintainers. So it can be your at home with the script which will turn your, I don't know, like outside light on and off. So and then improve it, fix it. So it can be starting from request to your own project to something big like CPython, and Carol is going to give better definition. Yeah. Oh, no.
Well, maybe. I don't know. But it's a really great way to build your own skills, whether you're a complete beginner or have been doing this for decades. And one of the things that we did at Python Brazil is some of the documentation. They were a whole bunch of people that got together, you know, we had snacks or whatever, and translated a whole bunch of documentation, and it just empowered the rest of the community for years to come. So it's not just like, okay, be a core Python developer. In fact, I would say that's probably not the first place that, like, find a project that is this one, maybe, where, you know, it's easier to get commits in sooner versus later, because CPython has a lot of, the issues that are open are typically not trivial. And not to say that Fast API is trivial, but but they have a lot of stuff from documentation. Like they're in that high growth phase, and when you're in a high growth phase, you have stuff that needs to get done. So, yeah, I'm a big +1 on sprints. I think it's one of the best things for any conference.
And I'll add two things. I'll giving two of my examples. Like continuously for 3 years, first 3 years I attended PyCon US. I was the first person to break CPython CI on all 3 times. So people are always like, who is this Kushal guy? Like broke the CI. And I like the first keynote speaker was Carl Daniel Stenberry, and I was super happy. Like I'm one of those 800 people he mentioned who submitted one patch and never came back. And I'm the 1026th committer in curl. I fixed 9 spelling mistakes. So in one commit like thing. So a sprint can be everything. It doesn't have to be like, you know, hardcore programming things all. But it's way to learn from others. It's meet new people, have fun. And that's how I made most of my friends in CPython and Python community. PyCon US has 4 days of sprints, by the way. That's the best place in the whole of PyCon, I say always. Last 4 days. Sit down and talk and code.
Okay, now another important request for you people, that sprint means more money. So please go back and help, if you can help us to get some sponsorship, that would be wonderful. Yes, we happen to have the conference in the end of the year. That does not mean we are not going to have the conference. We are going to have the conference in November 2024. So can you please ask your organizations to sponsor us and keep some money aside for us to make this conference and sprint happen at the end of 2024. That would be wonderful.
I usually give feedbacks in one positive and one negative. So the positive thing is this is my 3rd time here, so I really like it that it's cozy, but still diverse. All kinds of people, all kinds of topics. That's great. Keep doing that. The constructive feedback that I want to give is like when you have workshops, it's very limited. So it will be great if you can send out the pre-workshop setup the day before, so people don't waste time on that. So that's it. Thank you.
Coming back to the point that go back to your organization, and probably we can get more money and organize better space and get more workshops. And well.
And did I hear an extra day? Someone said an extra day.
Yes.
All right. Feedback I already heard about the workshop was like 1 hour is a little bit small time. So whatever he said, do it in that way.
But nobody clapped when I talked about the sponsorship.
Getting sponsors are hard, and having run like free conferences or like $10 conferences in San Diego, it is a great recruiting tool for companies, particularly companies that are using Python and are local. And you know, typically that will, having recruited a whole bunch of engineers, the time and effort spent to recruit a good engineer, whether it's junior, senior, whatever, is much more than it is to sponsor. So if you're a company owner.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing. It's actually good to see that people are speaking up because, well, I expected they're going to be like dead silence as usual. But all right. One thing to say is like, well, that's over. And yeah, here I put the correct year, so which is good. It's sad and, well, in some sense, it's actually happy that it's over because it's like stress time for a lot of people to kind of gather all of us together here and do the conference that we're doing. But yes, we can actually celebrate that it's over because we've done it, and I think it went pretty well. And we, like as you said, like we got a lot of good comments. Well, what did happen during the last 2 days is actually, we counted around 300 people joined. This is roughly amount of tickets that we sold. We are slightly overbooked even this year, and amount of people that are actually claimed. We had roughly 130 plus talks submitted, from which only 14 were selected. So this year it was really a challenge for people to select which talks are going to be presented here. We had great 4 keynotes, and of course we had 14 great talks as well, and 6 workshops, which is good. And well, it happened because we had our great sponsors for this year, and all of them are on this slide. Say thank you to all of our sponsors. It was great to see the EuroPython Society at this conference. I do remember 2019 when I've been to Basel, and I've been there specifically to learn from them to see how we can make the conference better here in Stockholm. And I was not listening to talks at all. I was just going and running around the whole, well, that was a big venue, but I managed to kind of participate in almost everywhere and try to get as much as I can to come and bring it here. So it's super good to see you guys here. And I think I put your slides slightly later. But yes, everyone can join the EuroPython Society and sign for their mailing list to know about their updates and be the member of the EuroPython Society group. And also, like, you also can get like grants. You can correct me if I'm saying it's a bit wrong. But if somebody is organizing any kind of conference, or do you want to do some kind of activities around Python in Europe, you can get help in many ways, like from guidance and, well, different things about it. So thank you for your Python community. And we're waiting for the new announcement about where it's going to be next year. And, well, it's going to be a good place to go anyway. Coming back, there is one slide which is about our team, and I want for everyone who has the t-shirt the same color as I have to come here right now. I know it might be a bit tough in this auditorium, but please come here, all of you. Even if you don't have the t-shirt color the same, but you know that's... Yeah, yes, exactly. Somebody's name might be not on the slide. This is what I took from our LinkedIn post, and we definitely have volunteers every year. If you participated, if you did anything, well, you see these faces. I will step back a bit. And like, from my side, I can say that all kudos to these people standing over here, because this year I had to step a bit down, and the thing that I was doing, I was running around with the camera and taking some shots. Hopefully they're going to be good, at least some of them, so I can share and you can find yourself. If you don't want to find yourself in our photos, you can after ask. We can remove those photos as well. But thanks to all these people who worked hard during this year, and yeah, rounds of applause for them. You're free to stay, but, well. Yes, and important thing is, like, we are all here. Like, why are we doing it? During the first opening talk, I heard that one of the most important things why the conference might have happened, or what is the most important thing for the conference. But what I personally think is the most important thing is, like, all of us here and the community itself, and we are doing it, like, for people and for us. So to say, I arrived in Sweden like 6.5 years ago, and that was one of the first things I joined. And for last 2.5, almost 3 years, I'm not coding in Python at all. I'm coding in YAML daily. That's my kind of daily job. I'm perimeter infrastructure engineer. I don't need to code in Python anymore, but I'm still coming here because I wanted to see familiar faces. And it's actually, I was pretty surprised that somebody even from EuroPython from 2019 remembered me for, well, it was kind of warming myself. Means, well, we're doing a good job, so we are gathering together as a community, as a society, and, well, all the conferences just because of everyone who is coming here, who has contributed to it in some way, as a participant, as a sponsor, as somebody who's going to give us feedback after all, who's going to pay for a ticket, of course, and yeah, we're all here for you. And yes, every year one of the things that we want to ask is please join us because we want to grow. Unfortunately, after 2019, something happened, and during 2020 we couldn't organize conferences on site. and 1 more year. But now we're trying to grow, and there are many, many suggestions, like go 3 days, or go with sprints, or organize more workshops, or organize this, organize that. We need more people who are gonna either ask for sponsorship or join us in any other way, suggest ideas, like help us with talk selection for next year, try to find somebody who might be a great person to talk here, or suggest us in any other way. So write us on info@pycon.se, and yeah, we will figure it out how you can help us during next time. Follow us on our social media. I think I missed one because, well, it's obviously a presentation from last year, and at that time we didn't have Mastodon. So yeah, follow us, spread the word. People should know that we exist. We are doing the conference in, well, it's a bit dark outside already, so it may be not the time when people want to come to Stockholm, because it's better during the summertime, but we're still here. We're still here for people. We're still here to kind of for you to learn, for us to all have fun. And yeah, I think like I don't want to. You don't want to be tired from me talking more. So probably one of the most important things, that's what Helio usually asks me to say, like super quick, is that we have an AfterCon, and this is roughly the map how you can get there. There is a bar called Bishop Arms, and this is the address. Take a picture how you can get there, and there is what's called Mingle. Yeah, we can walk together over there. So. Yep. So see you there. Thank you all again for coming. Thank you all again for participating. See you. See you at AfterCon. Yeah. That's yeah.
We need the badge to get the beer. Does everybody have the badge? I'm sure.
And one important thing. Super important announcement to make. There is also swag left on where you receive the badge. So first come, first serve if you want to get some more. And one extra important thing, and one more extra thank you to all technicians who worked here for us, all people who've been here. I don't know how I forgot about that, but I actually didn't eventually. For everyone who is working, all talks are going to be recorded and hopefully published as soon as we can. For everybody who worked with sound, with everything. For everyone who is actually cleaning the places right after we leave. So please mind, and well, I have a great picture. I'm probably going to post it soonish. It's like a cup in the chair left after yesterday's talk. We cleaned the whole place, so please mind. And if you see something that you can just pick up and help other people who are helping us to make it better, like, please do that. Thank you. See you at AfterCon. See you next year.